Hugh Lanning, who's Deputy General Secretary of the PCS Union and Chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Hugh.
I'll stand up and I hope people can hear, or maybe should I leave the microphone a bit closer? That might be better. Sorry if I suffer from a bit of deja vu, but I was in here last night at the Philosophy Football Disky Party about some little sporting event that's coming on in a week or two's time. And it was great because they were celebrating the fight against apartheid and also the culture of South Africa. But the biggest cheer was when the DJ from up here said, "We're all Palestinians now." And that got a huge response, and I'm really pleased that there's opportunity to speak today. Because this conference brings together, if you like, what are two passions of mine. One is the fight against racism and fascism, and the other is fighting for a free Palestine. And I do think they're two sides of the same coin that come together in the issue around Islamophobia. And last weekend I was in Palestine speaking at a conference in Nablus on boycott, disinvestment and sanctions. And as part of my continuing necessary programme of self-education, I was reading up about the Crusades on the way there. And I was struck, if you like, by the parallels, the language of the infidel, how it was necessary to go to war against Muslims and Islam. And you could see the parallels with the language of war on terror, which actually means a war on Islam, what is used to justify the wars in Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan. And I think what we need to be very clear is that the racist underpinning of the language that is used around Islamophobia is something that we have to challenge very, very directly. And as we're meant to curtail what we say, I just want to talk about two ways in which we can do that. One, I think Palestine is crucial in the fight against Islamophobia. The positive fight for a free Palestine, to make sure that we are on the side of the Palestinians, is a positive way in which we can demonstrate that we're not Islamophobic. It's a positive way in which we can go out and campaign on behalf of an injustice that's been done. And so a positive thing that I want you to do, and it's good that the organisers today have curtailed the conference so that we can go on to the demonstration. But it's not only go to the demonstration this afternoon, but get involved in the campaign for a free Palestine. It is just horrific. I mean, as I say, I was in Palestine and woken up when the attacks took place on the flotilla. And the Palestinians, I think, were more shocked by the fact that it was friends and people coming to their assistance who were killed than it was Palestinians themselves who were killed. And they demonstrated in Nablus and Ramallah and so on. And I think we've got an obligation to take that campaign. You hear all these platitudes from the government saying the blockade's bad, the siege should end. Well, why don't they end it? It's completely within the power of the EU, the UK government and the US to end the blockade on Gaza, but they refuse to do it. And you suspect they're only paying more attention now because it is not Palestinians who died, and it's other people who died on the flotilla that's bringing it to their attention. The other way that you can get involved, and Wayne's going to go on about this at more length, is the fight against racism and fascism. It was good in the general election that we were able to knock back, if you like, some of the attempts by the BNP. But it's clear that the EDL are going to be on the streets over the summer, fighting, trying to get into Muslim areas around mosques and trying to cause hatred on the streets. And one thing that we found from the campaign against the BNP was that when we work together, when we're united and when we're organised, we can make a difference to what happens. And the best way for us to combat EDL is for us to demonstrate that the largest number of people is the multiracial, anti-racist majority that exists in this country. We've got to demonstrate that time after time. So I hope that you'll get involved in the fight for a free Palestine, but also make sure that we link that in with the anti-racist fight in this country, combating EDL, and in that way, it won't just be an academic talk about challenging Islamophobia. I think we'll really challenge Islamophobia where it takes roots, and we need to do that in a practical way. So please get involved. Thanks very much.
Our next speaker